water, fluoride-free San Marcos is thrilled to be working with the students at the university and groups like Hayes Constitutional Republicans in support of taking the fluoridation chemicals out of the San Marcos water supply. Also, we have 735 petition signatures from the good people of San Marcos. We're halfway there to our required 1,500 to bring this issue to a citizen vote for the city charter amendment change. Please make your wishes known to the leaders of your community.
Dangerous drug, and you couldn't put it anywhere else, so they put it in our water. We could go on, but you don't want it in your water. And you want to begin to take control of our lives again.
If the application of sodium fluoride is truly a method of preventing tooth decay, then it is I who should decide who applies it, when it is applied, where it is applied, and how it is applied. My money should not be taxed to help me do something I can readily do myself. That reeks of paternalism.
On April 14th, Texas State student government decided to pass resolutions stating that Texas State University campus will no longer be fluoridated under the City of San Marcos' water program.
In Texas, we not only have College Station, which has ceased fluoridating, a city of 98,000, but also two of the wealthiest per capita and most expensive places to live in Texas, Alamo Heights and Lago Vista. Alamo Heights and Lago Vista are comprised of affluent property owners, not conspiracy theorists. Dallas City Council member Sheffy Kadane was quoted this week in reference to water fluoridation as saying, "We don't need it, and we would just save $1 million that we can use for something else." When I read this list of desirable and proactive cities, it seems so wrong to me that San Marcos has not joined them yet. I wonder why our beautiful community should be disqualified from being on this distinguished list.
I don't know, maybe y'all can put a line item in the budget for some pizza for those of us who've been sitting here from 6 to 7:23. There's a lot of people have been waiting. Smoke. I can choose if I go into a smoky bar, but y'all decide that this is a poison with research that's scientifically based. And I'm not sure why you would subject us to poison in our own homes. I specifically purchased, my husband and I, over $1,000 in equipment for a Berkey water filter so that we don't have to poison ourselves and subject ourselves to this high hydrofluoric acid. The other thing that really concerns me is that this injection location is right over there at the Spring Lake pump that's right behind the salt grass on the headwaters where you have a habitat conservation plan. And so for those of you who claim to be river lovers, I'm quite confused why you would allow that sort of station to be there. Developers can tap into the aquifer to the point where recently hydrogen sulfide pretty much blasted the entire area from where the Bowie Tract development is all the way to where I live on Belvin. And this stink dank is what they call it, is what we all got to smell. So while I'm under water restrictions for my private property, we've got people who are stink danking into the Bowie Tract, and unfortunately that could be deleterious to the quality of water, not to mention the water that they're taking. You guys won't let moms have Go-Gurt in the park because it's, polystyrene, but yet you're going to let a church from Kyle drop 40,000 plastic eggs with...
And I have a personal stake in it because I have dental fluorosis, which like 30 to 40% of Americans suffer from, and many people believe the reason is from overexposure to fluoride. So I have a personal stake in it. I have even more of a stake, and it's reignited my passion to get this toxic chemical out of the water because my daughter was born with dental fluorosis, and we believe she got it in utero by my wife mistakenly consuming fluoridated water. She'll tell you a little bit more about that. In Austin, unfortunately, the city are pleased to get the fluoride out of the water fell on deaf ears, and I was so confused as to why. It seems like a common sense issue. There's so much evidence and studies and scientific reports coming out that indicate the negative health effects. And I came to realize that it's likely that the fluoride remains in the water because the city council in Austin is afraid to challenge the status quo. I guess they don't feel like there's political capital in it. My hypothesis is that the city is worried that they'll lose Center for Disease Control grants should they buck the system and go against the status quo. And I hope that we don't fall into the same trap down here. I've followed some of the council actions for the past few years from Austin, and it seems like being a smaller town, and maybe you guys are better people in general than those that sit on the Austin dais. It seems to be a little more responsive down here. I think it's just the nature of a small town. So I hope that you guys do the right thing and see that there's a whole lot of people out here that want the fluoride out. Nobody comes in here encouraging it to stay in. There's no advocates or champions for it staying in. The only people that I see championing it are those who stand to gain from maintaining the status quo. I imagine you'll have Dr. Wang come down from Austin to speak in favor of it. If there's hearings, I understand there's already been hearings. There's no people in the community, there's no citizens of San Marcos that are out here trying to say keep it in. Some people will argue that we need to have it to help low-income families who can't afford proper dental care. Well, I would argue that on the reverse, keeping the fluoride in the water is actually inequitable because those who can't afford the expensive water filtration can't afford to avoid it. And I have a family of modest means, and we're constantly buying these new filters and replacing the filters. That only gets it out of the drinking water. We shower in it every single day, and those vapors can affect you. And again, it's evidenced by my teeth and my daughter's teeth, my 2-year-old daughter who has dental fluorosis, that this is having a negative effect. It's an effect on your teeth, and you could bet your bottom dollar it's affecting the skeletal, the endocrine system, and all that. So please do the right thing and take it out of the water. Thank you.
Catherine Bleich. If you'll please approach the podium and state your name for the record.
I'm sorry, what did you need me to say?
If you'll approach the podium and state your name.
Okay, my name is Catherine Bleich, B-L-E-I-S-H. Okay. I came today to ask that you all support the withdrawal of fluoride from the water in San Marcos. I just moved here 2 months ago from Austin. Well, I was actually in southeast Austin, where we were on Creedmoor Maha water. And it was my understanding, when I was pregnant with my daughter, Aliana, that Creedmoor did not fluoridate their water, which is a true statement. Unbeknownst to me, after moving there in April, over the summer, the state of Texas decided that Creedmoor could no longer pump their own wells. And because of that, they started buying water from Austin, something I was not informed of. So while I knew the dangers of drinking fluoridated water while pregnant, our fluoride filters sat in our closet. Now I'm going to lesson in due diligence, and Fluoride Free Austin tested our water when my daughter was 3 months old, and it came back at 1.1 parts per million. Now for me, that was really scary because they say in the studies that brain damage can start at 1.2 parts per million. And it just goes to show that even though the city of Austin was fluoridating at 0.7, something happened between their dispersal of fluoride into the water and it reaching my tap water at such a high level. So while you all may think you're fluoridating at a level that may be safe, you have no way to know until you're testing the water coming out of the tap. And every citizen, every human being who may not consider themselves a citizen, we're all free people, right? Free people should be allowed to have clean water. And I ask that if you're going to be putting poison in the water, you please pay to have it filtered out at my house so that my children no longer have to be subjected to this. Now, my daughter's been wanting to say something all day, so let's see if she actually will. This is Aliana. Her teeth came in with fluorosis because I drank fluoridated water while pregnant. Do you want to say something? Okay, she's being shy. She wanted to say, please take the fluoride out because it hurt my teeth. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Everyone in San Marcos, please take the time to make a difference. I know you care. Call the mayor, call the city council, tell them, let's stop the harm and take the poison, hydrofluorosilicic acid, out of the city of San Marcos water.